Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. There is always a lot to be said about illusion, fantasy, and no doubt about magic as well. And there are different, types of magic. We have, talked about it time and again. But today, I want to ask you about a very common type of magic, and that is love magic. Means what is the meaning of magic of love?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, Mr. Salman, love and affection is a fundamental element among human beings.
Yes, sure.
The world is working. The world is running for love. So, when a wife spells magic or performs magic to control her husband and to make her husband love her, or if a lover performs magic in order to get his beloved, so this is called love magic. So in this type of magic, a lover wants to grab the attention of his or her beloved, so this is love magic.
Does it have any types? I mean to say that does it fundamentally have to be between lover and beloved, or it can be between brothers, between sisters, between son and mother? Does it have any types?
Yes, it fundamentally it is between two lovers, spouses, between couples, and it can be between it can be performed by a wife for her husband, or it can be performed by a lover for his beloved, and even it can be performed by blood relations. I know an incident where a mother has performed magic, love magic, in order to control her son. So there can be different types. It can be between husband and wife, between two spouses, or it can be among relationships, blood relatives.
All right. So what do you think? Why people do this?
So obviously people do this in order to get the attention of their beloved, and in most of the cases wife often performs magic for her husband, because when she gets suspicious for her husband that, and she believes that her husband is involved in extramarital affairs, or she thinks that her husband is getting married with another woman, and he's preparing for second marriage. No doubt second marriage is not prohibited in Islam, but it is allowed. It is preferred second or third, fourth marriage in Islam, but the wife in our societies and normally wives do not like that their husband may get married to another woman. That's why they perform magic for their husband. And there is another thing: if the husband is too much rich and he has too much wealth, but he does not spend much of his wealth for his wife, and in these cases wife performs magic in order to get the wealth of her husband, because in this case, in this magic, the most thing that is preferred, the most thing that is focused, this is the attention of the beloved or the husband. So when your husband is attached to you, definitely he will obey you and he will sacrifice everything for you. So that's the reason.
So does it have to be performed just to seek attention of the beloved, or means if a person tries to take revenge from his beloved, means if a beloved rejects her lover, so he wants to take revenge, and he spells magic on his beloved.
Yes, it is also. It is also no. Then it will be black magic. Black magic is used for death or for illness. But in this case, if a girl rejects a boy, or a boy rejects a girl, then a boy or girl, they can perform magic in order to get that person, in order to grab the love of that person. So this is also a type.
All right. Next question, it ultimately comes in our mind that how it is, performed, how the love magic is performed. What are the ways?
Love magic is performed through the clothes and through the through the dress of a person. For example, if a woman goes to a spiritual healer, goes to a magician, goes to a sahir, and she asks him that I want to control my husband, so what is the cure, what is the treatment, and what can be a powerful tool for me? And then the magician and the sahir will ask that person that will ask the wife, will ask that woman or girl, a boy or girl, that bring me the cloth, the sweaty cloth, the used cloth of that person. It can be handkerchief, it can be shirt, trousers, it can be undergarments. So the magician, what will the magician do? He will take some threads from that cloth, and then he will tie knots on those threads, and then he will blow magic on those knots, and then he will ask the person to bury those knots, to bury those threads in a deserted place.
So that person will be under his control after that.
So that person will be. And there is a worst type of doing sihir muhaba, magic of ram, and that worst situation is the magic is performed on something, and then the person will be asked by a magician to make her beloved, to make his beloved feed that thing, eat that thing, or drink that thing, or smell that thing. And in this case, the magic is performed in menses discharge, or it is performed in human shit. And then the person for whom the magic has been performed, he will be asked to make that person eat or drink or smell that specific thing.
That's nasty.
So that's ridiculous.
The first thing, the magic itself is a bad thing, and the way it is performed, it's
a worst thing.
I don't have the words. It's the worst thing ever. And if such a nasty and bad thing, it will have side effects. Does it, cause adverse effects on the person for whom the magic has been performed?
In all the cases, love magic is not always successful, and it can have adverse effects. For example, if a wife is performing love magic for her husband, then in after effects, the husband may get ill, and in some cases, the person can die. Let me quote you an incident. A mother performed magic in order to control his son. And the situation was her son, after his marriage, he was involved and he was in much tension with his wife. And this situation was not bearable for his mother. And then the mother performed magic to control his son. And ultimately the son died due to the effects, due to the in the results of that magic. So a person may get ill, or a person may die in the after effects and in the results of this magic. And in some cases, the woman, the wife, performs magic, and he asks the magician that my husband must love me and he must hate all the women of the world. So in this case, the husband starts hating his sisters, his mother, his other relations, his other blood relations. So it causes turmoil in the family, and it can adverse effects that instead of loving his wife, the man starts hating his wife.
All right. So to satisfy her own ego, a woman she disintegrates the whole family. So this is a very bad thing. As there are different types of magic, how can we identify what are the major symptoms of this love magic?
Blind obedience of one's wife, and unnecessary attachment to a stranger, unnecessary attachment to a person can be a symptom, and excessive desire to have intercourse, sexual intercourse with wife, and excessive lust when one's see at one's wife. So excessive blind obedience and excessive love. Love between husband and wife is a normal thing, but when a person follows his wife blindly, and the absence of his wife is not bearable thing for him, so definitely it can be love magic. So excessive love and excessive desire to have sexual intercourse and blind obedience, these can be the symptoms of love magic.
Okay, let's come to the conclusion now. What can be the possible treatment for this type of magic?
So treatment, there are some verses of Holy Quran that you will recite and blow on the patient of magic of love, and those verses are verse number 14 and 16 of chapter Taghabun, chapter number 64, and the verse number 17 to 22 of chapter Araf, chapter number 7, and verse number 81 and 82 of chapter Yunus, it's chapter number 10, and the fourth verse is verse number 69 of chapter Taha, chapter number 20, and Ayatul Kursi, that's the verse number 255 of
Surah Baqarah.
Surah Baqarah, chapter Al-Baqarah, chapter number 2. So these are the 5 verses you have to recite and blow in the water, and then ask the patient to drink that water.
Okay.
And if the person feels tightness in chest or headache or stomach ache, so it is confirmation is after drinking that water the person feels stomach ache, headache or tightness in the chest, so it means the love magic has been performed from that person. So if after drinking that water the person vomits in yellow or in red or in black, so it means the magic of love has been invalidated. So if person feel nausea but he does not vomit, so continue this process for 3 weeks. Recite these verses and blow into the water, and then ask the patient to drink that water, and do this thing for 3 weeks, and with the help and with the blessing of Almighty Allah, this love magic will vanish away.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mr. Gulfam, for your time. Thank you so very much for watching this video. If you need this whole treatment, you can inbox us and you can contact us. We will share with you the complete treatment method of this love magic. Thank you so very much.